All right, so we got Google Foods. We tested every Wagyu steak, and here's what their #1 was.
Ever since I started my YouTube channel, I have specialized in one thing: steaks. I have done several experiments, and there's still many.
I'm not
more
gonna
to
lie,
go. But there's one question.
Guga is the one that really
asked.
like
Guga, what steak
taught
should
me
I
more
buy?
about
If I
steaks.
have limited budget and I want to try something incredible, which one is the best? Well, today I'm here to answer that question, as I'll be putting the best steak in the world against each other. And in the end, we're gonna let you know the pros and the cons for every single one of them. And most importantly, which one should you spend your hard money to try? And the answer.
So is this more of a bang for your buck, or is this more
This is a Japanese
like what's
Wagyu
worth it for
A5
your,
New York strip. As you can clearly see, it has more fat than meat. And if you take a closer look, you can see that between the meat fibers, there's even more fat. So yes, it is fat on top of fat, and very delicious fat, by the way. But hold on a second, because this is also a Japanese Wagyu A5. However, it is a filet mignon. It also has incredible marbling. This is also extremely expensive, but at the same time, is not even close to the New York strip. However, the tenderness of this thing is just on another level. I have crowned this on previous video as the god of all steaks, because I'll tell you one thing, it will please everyone. And here's our last final steak. Now this one also has great marbling as well, but not even close to the Japanese Wagyu A5. It is an Australian Wagyu marbling score 7, even close to the Japanese Wagyu A5. It is an Australian Wagyu marbling score 7. This steak is the perfect ratio between fat and meat, at least to me. For these types of steaks, you must keep it simple so that you can taste the meat. I'm going with a good amount of salt followed by freshly ground black pepper. That's it, nothing else. And as you can see, I was quite generous with the amount. Season your steak properly, everybody. It will be better. Because the next thing to do is to go ahead and cook them. And before doing so, we must have a side dish. And this is what we're going to be having. Now this recipe is super easy to make, and it pairs up perfectly with any steak. And here's how to do it. The first thing to do is to go ahead and chop up some potatoes. Choose the right kind. I'm using gold potatoes. They are better in every way, in my opinion. The first thing you want to do is to chop them up in quarters. Don't make them too small. Then add a good amount of oil into it. I like to use grapeseed oil, but you can use anything you like. Then you want to season it with salt, followed by black pepper, garlic powder, and smoked paprika. Mix it well and combine everything together. Then place it on a baking sheet with a little bit of parchment paper so that the cleanup can be nice and easy. Once they're nicely spread out,
I need a little less potato all at once. You know what I mean? It's a little too much all at once.
35 minutes, you should be left with something.
I know I could eat half of it, but like, you know what I mean?
Potatoes. It is ridiculously easy to make because remember, it's a side dish, and the steak should be the star. Talking about that, the only thing left to do is to go ahead and cook them. First, I'll be putting a nice, beautiful sear. Once it's done, I'll be cooking in indirect heat until I reach an internal temperature of 135 degrees Fahrenheit. And for that, I'll be using my wireless thermometers. Because now I say, it is
this guy got all the
gadgets.
I
Time
swear.
to grill some beautiful steaks. So let's do it.
Google roll. Yo. Hey. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a minute since I watched a Google video. But he always says this one thing. Like, once I hear it, I'll know it. But he always says this one thing. Either that or like, no. It's the way he talks. He always talks about, or he always talks like there's a question mark at the end of his sentence. And it started pissing me off a little bit. Cause I'm the type of person, like, I like to binge your stuff. So like I was binging a lot of his stuff, and at some point I started like getting annoyed because he started talking like, I'll point it out.
Does that look good or what? And before we try it, I want to thank today's sponsor, Great Channel Legends. Boost. It's all from AR. Go to it. All right, everybody. Here we got our beautiful steaks. Today I can say, everybody, they are beautiful. What do you guys think?
Oh yes.
Now here's the cool thing about this steak. It is all from my book, everybody. This book
I think
not
the
only
dude looks hella
explains
funny.
to you what type of steak they are, how to cook them properly, but how to get the best flavor out of these steaks. These are all Wagyus, by the way. They're expensive Wagyus. And I've cooked a few Wagyus, you know, like 1 or 2 here and there. So I have messed up a lot. And if you're ever cooking your steak for the first time, you'll learn from my mistakes. And this is the recipe right here. We got the potatoes, we got the steak, and guys, get this book. You won't regret it, I promise you. That's enough about the book because I'm excited. You guys ready?
Yes. Wagyu.
Yes, right. I want the audience to know if they are trying Wagyu for the first time, which one should they go for it first?
Let's do it. Where we start?
All right, let's go right here. We'll go this
Right here?
direction. Yes, please.
Let's do it, Leo. Let's do it.
All right.
I see you, Angel.
Somebody's about to be
Angel,
real
there
happy
you go.
right now. You guys ready?
I can think of at least 3 people that are about to be very happy right now.
Enough talking. Let's give it a go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Marble score
Oh
7.
man.
That's not fair.
If you don't like this, you're from a different planet.
I can't complain at all with this steak. This steak might be the winner already.
Hold on, bro. You haven't tried the
I
rest.
don't even know if I have to try the other ones. This is so good.
At least to me,
I'm not gonna
it
lie,
is
I've been
the
falling off of,
perfect
like,
balanced steak, and what I
steak
mean by that
a little
is
bit,
the amount of
like,
ratio, of
leaning more towards like
fat and
pescatarian
meat
side, but then
and
like
juiciness
Wagyu, of
is
course. Like
just
even I know, like
perfect in every single
even
element.
that's like
I honestly
crazy.
do
And I
think
need to eat
Australian
that.
Wagyu is probably the perfect cut. You got the richness, you got the beef flavor.
it's Wagyu,
and
I
it's
can't
like
turn it
you
down.
can eat it.
I
Like you
agree.
can eat like a savage on that.
One of the best things about Wagyu is that the
melts.
oiliness and the fat that it coats your mouth with continues to feel like you're still tasting steak. Long
Yeah.
after you swallow the
Yeah.
steak, I still feel like I just chewed it and I just swallowed it. It's so
Yeah,
delightful.
for
it's
sure.
so amazing.
So that's the first one. Let's go in for the second one, please.
It's like the oils are still like stuck on your wall,
You
the
like
walls
this
of your
video?
mouth,
I'm in a
and then
great
like it's
mood.
still like
you
trying to like
enjoyed this video.
I
go down.
enjoy this video.
With that being said, let's go for this one and let me know. Enough talking. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
wow.
Wow. It just melts.
said, wow.
It's so, there's nothing else in my mouth.
It's not steak, it's beef butter.
It's beef butter.
That's exactly what it feels like. The heat of your tongue automatically makes it just melt away. And again, with that oiliness, it just coats your whole mouth. It just tastes so amazing, so soft. It's beautiful.
Look at this boy.
I'm having a moment, guys. Hold on.
Okay. Everything that you would
Oh!
want is here on the steak, but in a very, very small amount. That's the problem with an A5
I unplugged my earphones. Hold on.
filament. One is here on the
Having a moment, guys. Hold on.
Okay. Everything that you would ever want is here on the steak, but in a very, very small amount. That's the problem with an A5 filet mignon. By the way, that's what that is.
Yeah, I know.
you like
I love it.
That is tiny, everybody.
It's real tiny, all right? It's not big, okay?
Compared with this steak here, which is much larger. Delicious, highly recommend. But I say now we go for the last one to see how it tastes.
Yes.
No.
Hell yes.
No.
No.
Potatoes.
Potatoes?
Steak, Leo.
They
Steak.
forgot about the
100 pounds.
potatoes.
All right, let's go for the side dish.
I just have so much fat in my mouth.
Right now, I needed some starch to absorb that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I
Dude, they
hear
need
you.
a
That's the
reset.
thing
They need a
whenever
little
you're eating
reset.
Wagyu, everybody, you should have some type of side dish. Okay? Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
That second one looks so good though. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just roasted potato, everybody.
But you know what? The thicker slices of potato, which usually you make them a little thinner. Right now, it's a texture like on the inside that's a lot softer. I like that a lot because it's crunchy and it's soft.
Very flavorful, crispy outside, fluffy interior. It's simple,
I like
but
crunchy.
it does its job.
You hit it on the money, Leo, because the thing about my book is that every single recipe will be easy to make, everybody. You don't need to be a master chef in order to make any of the recipes. And you'll be successful because I already made all the mistakes and I made sure to put it there for you. That is delicious, easy to make. Can we go for the last
Solid.
one?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Wow, you really want it, huh?
Let's go, guys.
Let's give it a go and give them our honest opinion. Enough talking. Cheers.
Imagine
everybody.
being Guga's family member, dude.
I don't know
some
if you guys saw
smacking
how much I
ass
had. And that was
food
plenty
all the
to
ti-
pull
oh
my
my
entire mouth,
God.
everybody. It is amazing, okay?
Wagyu has its issues, but it's a very flavorful steak. It is the juiciest steak you will ever put in your mouth.
Fact.
The ratio of fat to steak is like 90% fat and 10% steak. So it's
Pause.
just really fatty. You're not gonna feel it when you eat
kidding.
it. 10 minutes pass, you're gonna get punched in the stomach, and that's when you're like, oh, I shouldn't have had so much Wagyu.
Yes.
That's what's gonna happen.
If you are paying for it, which one would you guys recommend them to try?
I say you go for the 7, just because you could eat more of it, and it's still super enjoyable.
I think I would also go for the Australian Wagyu just because it's a more enjoyable steak experience. You're gonna be able to eat the whole steak, enjoy it fully. It still has the perfect balancing of fat and the beef. You're gonna be really happy if you get that Australian Wagyu. Trust me.
You could eat more and you could buy more.
Here's my recommendation. 100% go for this one here. An Australian Wagyu marbling score 7. Like everyone says, you will
It
enjoy
looks
this steak
solid.
completely. But most importantly, it is not.
I
easy to cook
can't
a
say
Wagyu.
like which
If you
one looks
cook
the
them
best though.
properly, you
Like
treat
the
them
honestly look
properly,
like,
I
oh my
promise
god.
you, it will be the best thing you ever put in your mouth. Facts. Anyway, guys, these are the results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in anything I use, everything is always in the description down below. Thank you so
I
much.
love
Guys,
Guga. I love Guga.
Bye-bye.
What would you guys choose though? Like out of the three, what like?
Ronda's arrival.
They look crazy.
Wagyu for the first
What was
time.
the,
Which one should they go for it first?
Let's do it. Where we start?
All right, let's go right here. We'll go this
Hey.
direction. Yes, please.
Taste the meat.
Damn, that looks so crazy though. Wait, which one was the Australian? This one on the left or this one? I think it was this one, right? On the right? Yeah, I think that one. I think that's the one they chose too. But yeah, that one looks the craziest to me. Obviously, oh my god! Just imagine being able to eat that though. But y'all let me know which y'all eat.
I'm going with a good amount of salt for my
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm
it,
saying.
nothing else.
Ooh, ooh. What was that other video I was looking at?
Welcome to Italy, everybody. When you
Wait, Google has a second channel? Google? Oh, I was gonna watch this right here. Is my audio cool, Jace? Was the video in my audio cool? Alright. Alright, so this is Google trying dry aged everything, every meat, and this is what happened.
On today's video, I am dry aging every single meat I can find. Most importantly, we're going to be rating every single one of them, because if it's worth it, you should try that at home. So enough talking, let's begin. And we're going to start off with a bang. A huge octopus. But the problem with octopus is that if you don't cook it right, it can become really chewy and not very good. So my hope is that dry aging it will tenderize the
Octopus
steak.
is
And most
smacking, no
importantly, it's gonna be
lagging.
great. So
If
after
you haven't
putting
tried it,
on
you
the
know, I
hook,
haven't tried it.
I added a chopstick in the
What?
middle
What'd he
to keep
say?
the tentacles open.
Y'all need to
and
try
into
it.
The dry ager went for a month. Once the time was up, take a look. I was
Damn.
not expecting this. This thing is a sculpture. I think octopus is made 100%
Oh.
of water. Because as you can clearly see, there's almost nothing left. And you should be really happy that you can
I think we
smell it.
basically
But
do
since
that with
octopus
squid
doesn't have a
too,
lot
or,
of flavor,
like
hopefully the dry aging process
yeah,
made it
we do
better.
that with
And
squid
since
too,
this
and then we
thing is
just
as hard
fry
as
it
a
up.
rock, I went ahead and used
Or
some
like,
kitchen scissors. Take a
roast
closer
it, actually,
look.
not fry
It is
it, we
not only
roast it up.
translucent, but it is
Smacking.
hard, almost like an unbreakable paper. The same is to be said about the tentacle. Just believe me when I tell you, this one, you don't want to smell it. But hopefully it's gonna taste fantastic. So I went ahead in a pan, added some oil, onion, garlic, and immediately threw it in. Since it was quite dry, I went ahead and added some white wine followed by smoked paprika. Mixed that up real good and everything started getting rehydrated once again. The only thing left to do was to go ahead and plate it
Damn.
up, add a tiny bit of parsley, and find
I wonder
out
how
the
it
perfect
smells
person
now,
to
though.
give this a go. Because believe me when I tell you, my crew have tasted incredible things. Some better than the others. But today, it's gonna be different. So here we go.
Well, this looks like
Show
dog
this
food.
up.
That's definitely a tentacle. Cheers.
Angel be picky too.
Uh-uh.
Oh,
It honestly doesn't
Damn.
taste bad. I just
It
can't
was
chew
hard.
It's not fishy at all for me. It just tastes like chili oil.
Based on the smell, I did not expect that. But let's move to something
yeah.
more
Maybe
familiar.
you're
Hot
better off
dogs.
making
There's
like
not
a
much to be
stock
said,
with
because
the
everyone
dry
knows
aged
what a hot dog
octopus.
tastes like. To dry age it, it's quite simple. After putting on a cooling rack,
Nah, this
into
guy
the
is
dry ager
fooling.
it goes for a month. And once the time was up, take a look. This is what a dry aged hot dog looks like. If I'm being completely honest, it reminds me of salami. It is still flexible, and when I
Yeah.
hold it on my hand, it's almost like Slim Jim. But the most important thing is to see
does look
if
like a
this is
Slim
going to
Jim.
taste good or not. So I went ahead and boiled them. This
Is
got
that what
them
a Slim Jim
rehydrated,
is?
added them to a bun, followed by some ketchup and mustard, and there we have it. Will the world's first dry-aged hot dog be good? Let's find out.
Looks like we got your old-fashioned hot dog. Let's give it a try.
Did he tell him It's dry aged though.
Texture's a little bit weird, but if you can get past that, everything else is good.
Definitely
I'm gonna
good,
eat
yeah.
the whole thing.
Once again, unexpected results. Now that is what I'm talking about.
It seems
However,
solid.
I'm not quite sure about this next
Alright,
one.
you can for sure just leave a hot dog
Now,
out.
you already know that chicken wings can be delicious, but dry aged, I have no idea. This is what it looks like before going in, and after putting it on a cooling rack, I dry aged it for a month. Now take a look. You tell me, it doesn't even look like chicken wings anymore. If I'm being completely honest, it also does not smell that great. When you take a closer look in the back, this thing is as hard as it gets, and it looks
How do
like
you?
there's
Nah,
no
you can't. Nah, you.
moisture left. But the important thing,
Nah.
how is it gonna taste? So I went ahead and chopped them up and immediately deep fried them at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. The crispiness of the skin was on a whole nother level. To finish them off, I added some chicken wings hot sauce, tossed it up, plated the whole thing with a little bit of vegetables on top, and there we have it. The world's first dry-aged chicken wings. Since this one smelled really bad, I didn't want to give it to my crew, so I went ahead and took a bite, and it was horrible. Spoiled, just not good. This one
Spoiled?
was horrible. Dry, it smelled spoiled. just
Smelled
not
spoiled.
good. This one will get a 0 out of 10.
Oh,
what do you think?
no.
How about this? Turkey breast. It has a lot more moisture. But what will happen when we dry age it? Well, we're about to find out right now. Because you went in for a whole month. And this is what it looks like when it came off. Luckily,
Oh my
it didn't
God.
smell
It
that
looks like
bad.
a like a
I really
club.
think that the
It looks
bones
like a
does
like a
something when you're
barbarian
dry-aging
club.
meat. That's why this one is not that bad. However, when I went to slice it, it is hard. But you can clearly see that there's still some moisture in the middle. That would be only on the thick part of the breast, because the tip
Oh my
is
God.
hard as a rock. So I
But
have to
this
discard
guy
it
made-
because
oh,
taking
hell
it,
no.
the thicker parts don't look that bad. So I went ahead and fried the whole thing up with a tiny bit of salt and pepper.
That
I
looks
immediately
good.
plated it up, and it was time to give it a try.
I
That
guess let's try
is
this.
harder.
Cheers.
That, not like a cracker. I know it. Yeah,
Whew.
that was hard to chew.
That is not people food. The sad thing is the flavor actually isn't that bad, but the texture is so horrible that it makes the whole thing just feel so
I feel like you
raw
have to
and
make
nasty.
stock
Let's
out of
forget
all
about
this. If it's
poultry
too
farm.
dry,
Because
if
the
you
next
lost
thing I
all of
wanna
that,
try
you
is
know.
this squid. I'm pretty sure you had calamari before. That's what this is made out of. However, what will
I think I
happen
know
when we
what
dry
to
age
expect
this?
here.
Well, let's find out. Into the dry ager it goes for a month. Once the time was up, check it out. The world's first dry-aged squid.
No.
Oh boy. It's hard, it's not pliable whatsoever,
Not
but
world
most
first.
importantly, it does not smell bad. So to cook it, I wanted to rehydrate it a little bit. So I started by frying it up, added some vegetables to make it taste good, stirred
Fine.
it a little bit more, because in the end, I plated it up and it was time for the taste test. In all honesty,
I expect
have
this one
no
to be
idea
good.
what to expect, but we're about to find out right now.
What the hell is this? You guys are like feeding me used condoms.
Nah.
Makes me a little uncomfortable to eat it. Bro, what the? Feel like I'm chewing plastic. That's gonna be a hard pass for me.
Damn!
I love these veggies later.
Don't worry, David, and you will
Damn.
definitely have those veggies later on. Because the next one, check it out. We got beef salami. If you've never had this, it's quite
Okay,
delicious.
this should
especially on
be-
sandwiches. Into the
Alright,
dry
alright.
it goes for 1 month. Take a look at it once the time was done. Now that is a dry sausage. There's not much to do or describe because it doesn't smell like almost anything.
It looks the
So I
same.
went ahead and sliced the whole
Like
thing
so- yeah,
up. And I
like-
don't know
like
if you
the
ever
other
fried
salami.
yours. It enhances the flavor and it's really tasted
Whoa.
this way. But dry aged, I have no
It's like a
idea.
hockey puck.
That looks like a beef sausage. Let's try.
It's like chorizo.
To
But
be
like,
honest, this is no bad. I like the texture. It's
No
like
bad?
crispy on the outside because in the middle it's really soft. It's really good.
Nice.
I like salami.
As expected, beef
Hell yeah.
salami is awesome dry aged. But check out the next
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Now, if you're not familiar with this, they are soft shell crabs.
Oh.
It is usually very delicious. And the funny thing about it is that you can eat the whole thing because everything is nice and soft. And when you fry it up, it's delicious. So I went ahead and set it down on a cooling rack, and into the dry ager it goes for a whole month. Once the time was
I'm
up,
actually
the biggest
so
issue
curious
me is
for
that it got
this.
stuck on the cooling rack. After a little bit of work, I was able to take it off. Now here you can clearly see what's going on. This thing is bone dry. Very, very dry. Once I split it open from the belly,
Oh
you
my
can
God, it looks
see
like
the amount of
bread.
meat it has, which at this point looked quite promising. So I went ahead and did a quick batter, dunked it right in, and immediately deep fried the whole thing. To finish it off, I added some chili oil, followed by some green onions. Now I gotta be honest with you, it just smells delicious. But it's the world's first dry-aged soft shell crab. I was a little bit skeptical, so instead of giving it to the guys, I went ahead and tried it myself. And oh boy, this one, I can tell you right away, it's a no-go. But the next one I was super excited to see, and that would be St. Louis pork ribs. These are delicious whenever you make it.
Wait, what is this?
Excited
Sorry.
to see, and that would be, tell you right away, it's a no-go. But the next one I was super excited to see, and that would be St. Louis pork ribs. These are delicious whenever you make it barbecue style. But dry aged? Well, there's not much to do. You just gotta leave it hanging for a whole month. Once the time was up, check it out. Super dry, zero smell, and most importantly, it looks like this one worked well. But because it was extremely dry, this got me a little bit worried. I think all of the moisture is completely gone. But nevertheless, I went ahead and seasoned it with barbecue rub, stuck it on the grill, and let it cook. To finish it off, I added some barbecue sauce right on top, sliced it up, and it was now time for the taste test.
Django ribs, yes sir.
Nah. It's like beef jerky? He's about to spit it out.
I don't want it anymore.
Google, why'd you do this?
The flavor is all right. The texture is terrible. It's not fall off the bone. If anything, it's in love with the bone. We talk about tree huggers, but this is a bone hugger. I'm not putting that in my mouth again. Neither should you.
Dry aging St. Louis ribs is definitely a no-go. But what about this next one?
It seems like jerky.
Now,
Scallops.
this thing is delicious by itself.
I love scallops.
Especially if you cook it in butter. However, how will it taste dry age? I'm not quite sure, but I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. So after closing my dry ager, you went in for a whole month. Once the time was up, check it out. As expected, it got stuck to the cool. Once I took it out, it almost looks like chicken. Luckily enough, there's still quite a bit of moisture.
Nah, I don't even know.
But
It's
the
not
biggest
like
issue
rubber.
on this one here was the
Silicone.
smell. It was horrible. But
Looks like
I
silicone.
decided to go ahead and fry it up anyway. Then I added a generous amount of wine, followed by butter so that I can...
What if you dry age yolk? Like egg yolk? I feel like it would look like that.
rehydrate the whole thing. Then I added some
Hella
garlic,
butter.
salt, and pepper, cooked it for a little bit longer, and in the end I played it up really
Oh my
nicely.
God.
And even added a generous amount of that butter on top, followed by
Nah,
a
it's
tiny bit of
rubber.
parsley. In the end, it looked okay, but as
It's
soon
a
as
rubber
I went to
puck.
take a bite, it was horrible. I'm not even willing to give this one to my guys to try. Definitely do not try this one at home. Next up, I wanted to go big, so I'm about to try...
Nah! Vienna sausage, spam, meatballs.
these. First up, the most popular one of them all, Spam. Now I love Spam, especially in
Dude,
musubi. It
this
just
is
phenomenal.
this guy's
But
a
how
mad
will
lad.
it be dry aged? It's pretty simple. After a month, this is what it looks like. Not that much difference, just slightly drier. It still smells great, so it's time to cook it up. I went ahead and pan fried the whole thing. The biggest difference for me is that you gotta be careful, since it's much drier. It gets a crispy crust right away. But how does it taste?
Nah.
What?
That's enough. You don't even
Guess
need to
let's,
eat it.
Give it a go.
Don't even bite it, bruh.
Tastes like spam. Not that bad, honestly. It looks like petrified wood, but it's not that
Oh, why did it sound like a
Definitely
puck
take
though?
Not that bad. Next up, tuna. Tuna from a can. This one is pretty
I've had some
straightforward.
really dry
I first drained the liquid, set it down on a plate, made a tight
spam,
bowl so
so
everything can
I
dry
guess I
age
get it.
nicely. And now that this is ready, I let it go for a whole month. And check it out. It became a rock. This thing is as dry as the Sahara Desert.
Nah.
There's zero moisture. And if you ever had tuna before, you know how dry it can get.
Yeah,
But
put
it
some
was time
barbecue
for
sauce
payback
or
time,
something.
nephew.
So you
Now
gotta put
what the
hella.
heck?
No, that's it. Just like that. You're mad.
I came prepared. Oh. Oh. Good, don't do that again, bro. Oh, what the heck is this, dude? Oh, I can still taste it. Nah. I'm out.
Nah.
That's what you get for not eating all of your vegetables. But how about this next one? Cooked ham. Will it behave the same exact way as the spam?
I can't even describe
and
what
if
it
you've
looks
never
like.
had this, it's not the best ham you can have,
Bad
but I'm
ham.
wondering if dry aging is going to make it better. Check it out once it was done.
Yeah.
I only went for 2 weeks on this one.
Yeah.
I wanted to still have some moisture inside. So I went ahead and sliced the whole thing out, cooked it up on the
Ew.
pan, and as you can clearly see, I got much better results than the spam. It didn't burn. That's because there was still a little bit of moisture inside. But the true test is the
It
taste
does look like
test.
spam. See, like one thing, they get to eat some really schmacking food, but they gotta go through some of this sometimes. And honestly, that's okay. That's okay, because at the end of the day, it's a free schmacking
Smells
food.
pretty good. Let's just give it a try, I guess. Cheers. It's actually pretty good. It's not dry, it's not wet. Kind of just like falls apart, almost like jerky. I give this a thumbs up.
I guess dry aging for a little bit less is
I'm
better. But how about
honestly
this?
very
Vienna
surprised.
sausage. Very popular with children. It brings
I
back
love
a
Vienna
lot of
sausage.
memories.
I got some
So
downstairs
I
right
wanted
now.
to dry age it to see what happens. And take a look at it after a month. Oh boy. It
Ew.
looks like it became Slim Jim. Since Vienna sausage was fully cooked already, there's no need to do anything else but try.
Is this like dog food?
This dog food.
It tastes like dog food, man. Piece by piece, you
Hey,
chew it
hey,
and it's just,
nah, give it to the other guy. Give it to the. I want to see what the other dude says about it.
it feels like rubber. It's like I'm eating a rubber band or something here. Not good.
I have to agree, not very tasty. Next up, check it out. Corned beef. Very popular with a lot of people. The problem with corned beef is this. You either like it or you hate it. But
I like corned beef.
Well, check it out after a month.
Nah.
Ooh, boy. This one smelled kind of funny.
What do
but
you
it
do?
seemed that it was
What do you
still
do with
edible.
this?
So I went ahead and sliced up the whole
No.
thing, fried it up
Okay,
on a
okay,
pan,
okay.
and
I thought
check
he was
it
gonna
out
eat it
what I was
straight.
left
I thought he was
with.
gonna eat it
Maybe
straight.
not the best looking meat, but here's what it tasted like.
I have to try this. Are you sure? Oh, this is disgusting. No. Nah.
Definitely don't dry age corned beef. Next up, we got sardines. Honestly, you either love it or hate it. And I love it.
I like
Especially if you
sardines.
grow up eating like I did. The smell always kicks you in the face. Now this is freshly out of the can. After a month in the dry ager, check it out. Super dry, kind of flaky. There's almost no moisture. Does it
I'm
taste
familiar
good?
with fish like this as well. My
Cheers.
parents be cooking with this stuff, making stock or
Oh
just
my
eating it like
God.
that.
It's so dry.
Yup.
And fishy.
Yup.
I like sardines, but I do not like that.
Dry aged sardine? is
You gotta
a
ask the right
no-go.
person. They
But what
they,
about
they actually
chicken
might
on a
like
can?
that.
To be specific, chicken breast on a can. A lot of people use this to make chicken sandwiches. This is what it looks like fresh. And here's what it looks like after dry aged for a month.
It looks
Dry,
like
no
oranges.
moisture,
It
smells
looks like dry
sleepy
aged
feet.
oranges.
But maybe it's like a fine wine. Hopefully it tastes a lot better than it looks.
Give it a try, I guess. This is disgusting. It's like rubbery and still falls apart at the same time. I don't know how that's possible.
That's
It looks like
weird.
canned chicken
That's
breast dry aged
hella
is a no-go.
weird.
But how about a TV dinner? To be specific, Salisbury
Ooh, I used to.
steak.
Hey, I grew up on stuff like this. Not
is a
necessarily
no-go.
this
But
box,
How about it?
but I forgot it was what were those? What are the kids' version of these? Ah,
TV dinner.
damn.
To be specific, Salisbury
I
steak.
I love all
This
these.
is what it
bro.
looks like fresh. Check it out what happens after a month. It looks like a fossil. So this
Oh my
one
God.
definitely has to be cooked. And in the end, check it out. What does this remind you of? I would love to know in the comments down below. Because the only thing left to do is to try.
All the juices are gone. Again. Oh,
That is not good. Yeah, that's not for me.
Salisbury steak dry age is definitely a no-go.
That was probably
What
the
about
nicest
this
thing he
next
could have
one?
said.
Uncooked cured salt pork. Usually this tastes fantastic, especially on pasta. But here's what it looks like fresh, and here's what it looks like after 30 days. There's not much
not
differences
terrible.
to it, and that's because of the fat. Remember, fat is a great preservative.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and cooked up the whole thing, sliced it up, and it was time to give
it looked like Chashu.
Looks like pork belly, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something wrong with this.
Oh my God. Excessive force.
This one is definitely a no-go. But what about meatballs already ready? Come on now. They have to be phenomenal, right? Here's what it looks like straight from the bag, and now dry-aged for
Wait,
a
you
month.
can
There's a
just
huge
eat it straight out of the
difference.
bag
To
like
keep this
that?
one nice
Nah.
and simple, I went ahead and threw it in the air fryer. Once it was fully cooked, check it out. It almost looks like falafel, but the smell was kind of funky.
Meatballs. I like me albondigas.
I'm not gonna lie though. I don't know why I didn't expect it to be what I just saw, but I really was not expecting that. I thought this was gonna be cool actually, even the way he made it look cool, but he didn't like it. This was hella funny to me, the scallops. Spam. I was surprised it was still cool, but I'm also not surprised it wasn't cool. I'm also not surprised it was cool. But yeah, let me know what you think. Well, let me know what if you would do any of these actually after watching this video. Like would you try any of these try ages? Let me know.